and welcome to another episode of Disney Movie Investigations. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. On each episode, we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney+. On this episode, we are taking a look at the 2008 comedy Bedtime Stories, starring Adam Sandler and Russell Brand. And stay tuned for our bonus stories as we take a look at the history of the Disneyland Hotel. And if you are enjoying these videos, we do ask that you please hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified with each new video. But for now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we're covering Bedtime Stories, and this movie was released on December 25th, 2008, and it was directed by Adam Shankman. The screenplay was by Matt Lopez and Tim Hurley. The production companies were Walt Disney Pictures, Happy Madison Productions, Gunn Films, Offspring Entertainment, and Coleman and Izzy Productions. And this was, of course, distributed by Walt Disney Studios. The budget for this movie was $80 million, and it did a box office return of $212.9 million. So there's not much production history in this one. This seems like it was a co-production between Adam Sandler and Walt Disney. In terms of the cast, we have Adam Sandler, who plays Skeeter Bronson, Kerry Russell, who plays Jill Hastings, Guy Pearce plays Kendall Duncan, Courtney Cox plays Wendy Bronson, Richard Griffiths plays Barry Nottingham, Teresa Palmer plays his daughter Violet Nottingham, Lucy Lawless plays Aspen, and Russell Brand plays Mickey. In terms of the plot, in 1974, Marty Bronson builds the Sunny Vista Motel in Los Angeles with the intention of raising his son Skeeter and his daughter Wendy in the place where he works. However, he is not a good businessman, and the hotel goes bankrupt. Marty is forced to sell his hotel to Barry Nottingham, who promises to hire Skeeter in a general manager position when he grows up. Years later, Barry builds a new hotel, forgets his promise to Marty, and Skeeter Bronson is only the handyman of his hotel. The general manager is an arrogant Kendall who is engaged to Barry's daughter, Violet Nottingham. When the Webster Elementary School, where Wendy works, where Wendy is the principal, is to be close to demolished, she needs to travel to Arizona for a job interview. Wendy asks her friend Jill, who is a teacher in the same school, to watch her kids and Skeeter to watch them at night. Skeeter meets the estranged kids with his best friend Mickey and makes up bedtime stories to help them sleep. But the kids add details to the story, changing the endings. Soon, Skeeter realizes that the plot of these stories are coming true and affecting his life. So not a lot of trivia with this one. It seems like this was a Disney family comedy. Would I recommend this movie? I think this is a really good family movie with a great mix of comedy and a heartfelt story. Adam Sandler was able to tone down his comedy routine for a younger audience, but still make it funny for the parents. So I think there's that great blend of kind of that great traditional family comedy plus the Adam Sandler comedy, which a lot of his fans would come to enjoy. The negatives, unfortunately, I don't think there's a lot of chemistry between Adam Sandler and Kerry Russell. Their scenes come off as really awkward, and it seems rushed the plot along to get them to fall in love with each other. I just don't think it works as well as some of other Adam Sandler's other movies. I would have loved to see Russell Brand's role expanded, as he's really funny in a lot of his scenes, but he's not in many of the scenes. So I wish that would have been expanded. Overall, a great family movie, one that I would recommend. Especially if you're a fan of Adam Sandler. It's kind of a nice family Adam Sandler movie, if that was to summarize it up. So let's move on to our bonus story, where we look at the Disneyland Hotel. The Disneyland Hotel is located across from Disneyland in Anaheim, California, and this was the first hotel to carry the Disney name and has gone through many changes throughout the years. So in terms of the history, at the time of construction in the mid-50s, Disneyland was a remote area outside of Anaheim, California. Walt Disney wanted to build a hotel for his guests to stay overnight, as Disneyland would become a far distance from major cities in Southern California. Walt found that he had a problem, as his finances were tied up in the making of Disneyland and could not afford to build a hotel on his own. Initially, Walt asked his friend Art Linkletter to assist him, but Linkletter declined. Disney would also contact the Hilton and Sheraton, but they also declined. Disney then approached Texas billionaire Jack Rother and Mary Helen Alvarez, who agreed to build the Disneyland Hotel. In terms of the Rother Corporation, the hotel was designed by Pierre and Luckman firm and was opened 3 months after Disneyland opened on October 5th, 1955. When the hotel opened, it had a limited capacity containing only 100 rooms, with the average price being only $15 per night. If that was the case today, that'd be a gold mine. Shopping, dining, and recreational facilities would be added in early 1956. In addition, there was a doctor, dentist, and hairdresser all on site. The first expansion, like we talked about, occurred in 1956 with 3 North Garden guest room structures, and the North Garden structure in 1960 brought the hotel rooms to 300, and one of the first hotels to offer a room with 4 people in it. During the 60s and 70s, 3 guest towers would be added, including the Sierra in 1962, the Marina in 1970, and the Bonita in 1978. Initially, guests would travel to the park via the trams before a monorail was added in 1961. The hotel also offered a Richfield service station, which was a Disney sponsor at the time. So Disney would eventually purchase it from the Rother Corporation, and this occurred when Michael Eisner became CEO in 1984. He wanted to get out of the arrangement because he no longer felt that it was profitable. Rother refused to sell initially. However, when Rother passed away and then his wife, Bonnie Granville, passed away, Eisner purchased the entire Rother Corporation. In 1999, a portion of the hotel was demolished to make room for Downtown Disney and expanded parking. The Sierra Tower and the Marina Tower were also demolished at this time. Tram service was also discontinued, leaving the monorail being the only transportation. And finally, in 2007, the Marina, Sierra, and Bonita Towers were renamed the Magic, the Dream, and the Wonder. So that's the Disneyland Hotel. I've never actually stayed in it, but I've heard wonderful things about it. Again, it's part of a Disney history, and it was kind of the start of Disneyland. So thank you so much for joining us here on Disney Movie Investigation. I would love anyone to please leave a comment on what they think of the movie Bedtime Stories. Also, if you have ever stayed at the Disneyland Hotel, what is your favorite memory of it? So as we take a look at our next video, we're going to look at an independent feature from 20th Century Fox as we take a look at Badass. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.